Coronation Street viewers watched Megan Walsh finally appear in court during Tuesday night's episode of the long-running ITV drama, but the hearing took an unexpected turn after she encouraged her mother to influence Will before the trial began. Tuesday's episode of Coronation Street saw Megan Walsh finally stand before the court. Portrayed by Beth Nixon, the disgraced teacher had engaged in an illegal relationship with teenage student Will Driscoll, Lucas Hodgson Whale, and appeared ready to answer for her crimes at last. Before the court proceedings got underway, Megan's mother, Janine Melissa Jack, arrived in Weatherfield for the first time and headed to the Rovers, where she apologized to Eva and Ben for her daughter's behavior. After discussing the situation, Eva and Ben agreed it would be better if Will did not meet Janine, a decision that left Megan furious while she waited inside the car. She angrily told her mother, "What you really mean is you didn't even try, because if you had, you'd have spoken to Will. You don't care about any of this, do you? I know this is difficult for you, but have you thought about what it's like for me? I made one stupid mistake. He wouldn't leave me alone. I guess I liked the attention, and eventually he wore me down. That's something I'll have to carry with me forever. It was just a brief lapse in judgment, and once I realized what I'd done, I didn't deserve to have my entire life destroyed over it. Did I?" Ignoring everyone's wishes, Janine later approached Will in the street and said, "I wanted to say sorry for everything she's put you through. There's no excuse for it. None of this was your fault. She was once an ordinary young woman with talent, a promising career, and a bright future ahead of her. She's thrown it all away, and I still don't understand why. Deep down, I don't believe she's the terrible person everyone says she is." If that's really the case, then the only explanation is that she genuinely loved you. What happened was completely wrong, but I can't think of any other reason she'd risk years behind bars and face abuse every single day in prison. In her own twisted way, she must have believed you were worth risking everything for. Janine's words clearly affected Will, leaving him uncertain about what to believe as she walked away. When the trial began, Will entered the witness box before unexpectedly telling the court, "Look, I'm sorry. I can't do this. There wasn't any relationship," prompting audible gasps from those watching in the courtroom. He continued, "I wanted to believe it happened, but I knew it wasn't true. She was only my coach, nothing more. She hasn't done anything wrong," while Megan reacted with a mixture of relief and surprise. Will's grandmother, Maggie, was outraged by his dramatic change of story and confronted the barrister during a break in proceedings. She fumed. "Can someone explain how that nasty little tramp still has such a grip on him? Who knows what messages she managed to send him with those looks?" Following Will's unexpected testimony, the court was warned that the trial might not be able to continue. The dramatic twist also stunned Adam Barlow, Megan's solicitor, who admitted he never expected Will to completely change his version of events. Megan, however, confidently insisted the prosecution's case would now be laughed out of court and urged Adam to remain firmly on her side. Viewers quickly shared their reactions online, expressing anger over Megan's apparent attempt to escape responsibility. One frustrated fan posted on X, Megan is making me so angry, acting like she's the victim when Will is only a child." Coronation Street delivered a tense face-off between Sarah Platt and Jody Ramsey in Tuesday's early ITVX release. A heated clash unfolded as Sarah Platt, Tina O'Brien came face-to-face with Jody Ramsey, Olivia Francis Brown. The confrontation was sparked by Jody's assault on Sarah earlier this year, which happened to occur on the very same night that Theo Silverton James Cartwright was killed. That attack unintentionally provided Sarah, who was responsible for Theo's death, with a crucial alibi. For several weeks, Jody allowed Sarah to believe that one of her shady former acquaintances had been behind the assault. However, an offhand remark about David the dog's barking appeared to expose what really happened. During Tuesday's episode, Sarah became determined to uncover exactly what had taken place on the night she was attacked. Moments before the assault, she had struck Theo with a scaffolding pole, meaning any fresh evidence or conflicting timeline could put her directly under police suspicion. Meanwhile, DS Lisa Connor Swain, Vicky Myers, also wanted to revisit the incident. Keen to keep track of the conversation, Jody invited both Sarah and Lisa into number 8. As Sarah carefully recounted the evening's events, she insisted the attack occurred at 9:10 p.m. and remembered hearing David barking in the back garden. Jody became visibly uneasy, and after Lisa returned to the police station, she finally admitted the truth. Sarah immediately threatened to report Jody to the police, but Jody responded with a warning of her own. She pointed out that Sarah's timeline didn't entirely make sense and hinted that Sarah may actually have been with Gary Windus Mikey North that night. Sarah has been desperate to keep Gary's name out of the investigation, particularly because he currently appears to be taking the blame for Theo's murder. Quickly changing tactics, Sarah questioned Jody about the unusual trinket box she had in her possession. Before the confrontation could continue, David Platt Jack P. Shepard interrupted them, revealing that in the middle of their argument, they had forgotten to close the gate, allowing the dog to run off. Although the immediate confrontation came to an end, the tension between the pair was far from over. Later, while at the Rovers, Sarah made Jody an offer. She promised not to report her attack to the police, provided Jody stayed silent about Gary's whereabouts on the night Theo was killed. Whether Jody will agree to Sarah's ultimatum remains to be seen. Coronation Street spoiler: Abby left devastated as Alfie is rushed into intensive care. Abby is thrown into panic after waking to find Alfie struggling for breath. She immediately calls Kevin, who insists on driving them straight to A&E. As they rush Alfie out of the flat, Idris notices the commotion and grows concerned. Once Kevin informs Carl about the emergency, he hurries to the hospital. There, a consultant explains that Alfie will undergo a series of medical tests, but confirms the youngster will need to remain in intensive care overnight for observation. Back at the flat, Idris and Brody are horrified when they uncover extensive mold covering the walls. After learning how seriously ill Alfie is, Idris heads straight to the hospital, but what sort of welcome will he receive? Doctors later reveal that the mold in Alfie's bedroom is directly responsible for his breathing problems. Abby is advised that she should find somewhere else to live as soon as possible. Leanne and Alia tell Idris that the previous owner of the property must have been aware of the damp issue and should be held responsible. How will Idris respond to their suggestion? Meanwhile, Abby becomes suspicious after noticing Idris and Brody acting strangely. Coronation Street airs Monday to Friday at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1, with episodes available to stream from 7 a.m. on ITVX.